Hello and welcome to the Nintendo Nostalgia Podcast. My name is Chris Warren, and for the first time ever, I'll be your host this week. Also joining me for this episode, I'm joined by my good friends and co-hosts, Jacob Rush and Ryan Black. We are back and we are playing with power. Today's topic is a Wii title that literally changed my life, but before we get into that and what we are radical rexing about, Jacob and Ryan, how are you?
I'm great. Just been working, trying to get my stream, further my stream and my business, I guess, with that, and having a lot of fun with it. A few struggles here and there, a few setbacks, but just kind of rocking that. And Jacob, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Yeah, always a lot on the plate, but I'm doing good in general. Excited to have Chris lead for the first time tonight. So thanks, Chris. This is awesome.
Thank you.
New way to. Chris has been on the show for a couple times, and over the last few months, and finally letting him take the reins a little bit and drive. So we're excited, man.
Thank you for allowing me this opportunity. It's very exciting and pretty surreal in a way, if I'm going to be honest with you. Cool.
Well, I'll send you my autograph at the end of the month. Okay?
So, without further ado, why don't we get into what we are radical rexing about? All right. So, which one of you guys would like to go first?
Well, Ryan, you haven't been on in a couple weeks, so why don't we hear from you, man?
Okay. All right. Let's see. Fight Crab came out. I don't have it yet. I will have it soon, hopefully.
Okay, that's enough.
I'm excited about Fight Crab.
Wait, when does that come out?
Collection.
When does Fight Crab come out?
Fight Crab's out now. It came out yesterday.
What?
Yep.
Okay.
How much is it?
$20.
Oh my!
It may be people's
might consider
game.
if it was
We'll
like
see.
$5, but
Unless you're me and you get the physical edition for probably $30 or $40, and not including shipping.
I wish I would have gotten a physical edition for that one, just because it's so ridiculous. But yeah, I can't wait to play that when I get it.
this is gonna be a game, and it's gonna be on one of those 80% off deals in 5 months.
You never know.
Right?
Worth it.
It's gonna be $5.
Every
You never
cent.
know.
And then, of course, got 3D All-Stars coming out in a couple days, and we've got the NOS Mario Kart racing that we're going to be doing, the NOS Cup tomorrow night. So it's definitely some things I'm looking forward to. I've been growing my stream, and it's been going pretty well, like I mentioned earlier. I just hit 50 followers, so it's one of my goals. I'm streaming the amount of days that I need and the number of hours that I need. I just need to hit the average 3 people per stream, and I'll have my affiliate, and so I can be making a little bit. Not that I'm in it for the money, of course, but I'm growing my brand and making it more in theme and kind of creating what my business is here. And this is pretty fun, and I'm excited to see where this goes. It's kind of becoming its own thing and growing, and yeah, that's really exciting for me. Other than that, I've been trying to work on my workspace. When I work up in the attic, I'm currently temporarily downstairs, but I'm trying to get it ready. I was trying to move to a different room, but then I figured out the room wasn't big enough, so I'm going back to where I was, but trying to shake things up and kind of rearrange and get my whole streaming set up looking nice, so should be good. I'm ready for those amiibo that are coming out very soon as well. 2 Smash amiibo, and hopefully more soon to come.
Which one?
I forgot about that. Yeah. Do you know what the release date for that is?
I think they
I
said
already know which
September.
ones they are.
I know
End
it's
of September, I'm
Joker.
guessing.
September, really? Oh wow! I thought it was I don't know, next year. But I guess
Maybe
I'm
it's
thinking
October.
of the cat one.
It is this year for sure.
Okay,
But that's
yeah.
Joker and
Hero.
Yep.
Yeah. Joker looks
Wow,
awesome.
That means Banjo's next.
Yes,
Hopefully.
you are right.
Hopefully. I don't know. Miyamoto's statement during that direct was kind of ominous. Just so you know, we're working with third parties, so we may not be able to make some of them. And I don't know if he meant the amount, if they'll be very limited in how many they'll be able to make, or if they just won't be able to make some of them because of licenses.
The trick is probably the licenses with the Xbox product, in a figure that has a Nintendo product on it too. Maybe there's some kind of cool hybrid we get. That'd be awesome if that works out.
That'd be really stupid if they won't let Nintendo make an amiibo.
So in a couple days, we do have a developer It's a Nintendo Direct Mini or whatever, and
Tomorrow.
it's tomorrow. Okay, I've got some high hopes for that. There's some Tales of Symphonia popped up recently on like a Steam sale or something, and that was what they promoted. I'm like, ooh, what if that actually comes to the Switch? And then we've got Jesse, our one of our NOS crew members. He pointed out that it's probably going to be Age of Calamity is going to be showed off there as well. Because they said just in a couple weeks they were going to show more on that, so it's probably going to be in the developer direct for sure. I could definitely count on that. Good call, Jesse there. And then so many speculations, so many things that people hope and pray, and then there's like Bayonetta just sitting there like, when's that going to come out or be announced? It's going to be forever delayed like Metroid Prime.
Yeah, I know. I keep thinking we're going to hear about it, and months keep passing, and then a direct comes out. I'm like, oh, this is going to be it, but no. But at the same time, it's like they can take all the time they need with Bayonetta 3. I really don't care, because they know what they're doing. Bayonetta 1 and 2 are masterpieces, so as long as this third one lives up to all of our super high expectations, I don't care if it comes out in like 2024, as long as it comes out and it's great, But cool. I'm glad to hear that you have all those cool things going on in your life. And Jacob, what about you?
I'm kind of fixated on the fact I didn't know about this comment about Amiibo not coming now, so I'm kind of distracted that that there's a risk that he might not come. So I'm kind of Fire Embleming about that, I guess.
I think that it will be okay. That is the one that I'm the most worried about myself. But at the same time,
one I care about.
Exactly. Yeah. Seriously. But at the same time, I feel like Nintendo was probably straightforward during the deal, being like, "Hey, just so you know, we are making an Amiibo about this, right?"
Right.
I can't see them making a deal and Microsoft being a little wishy-washy about it. Like, we'll think about it. I can't see that happening.
That probably has to be a steal deal. Like, that's part of the package.
Right.
Like, absolutely. So, because I intend to I may buy a handful of them, honestly, just because one for myself in package, one to bust out and play, a couple for my kids, and just because I love Banjo-Kazooie. And I don't care what anyone says, they belong on Nintendo, so I'm going to relish every ounce of it that we get with it. So, outside of that, I'm really excited to. Today I've been labeled the catering coordinator for my job, which is good. So I'm delivering all the food from our store, and I just out driving all day, which is awesome. Instead of being in the store serving food, I was out driving all day, delivering food in a big van, and so I'm getting paid while I'm delivering, and then I'm getting tipped while I do it. So I made like $105 in tip money today.
Podcasting time too. You can listen to podcasts.
Oh yeah. I actually listen. It's funny you mentioned I listened on YouTube. I guess Sean and Bobby have a newer show, or like a Cup of Joe.
Yeah, Cup of Joe and Nintendo. I love that show.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that if we were in Nintendo, basically
in bite size. Yeah, they don't go so long that they start getting into fights, but they just have a casual conversation over a cup of coffee. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I saw that for the first time and just listened to that, and just been catching up on other shows, Friends, the stuff I haven't listened to in a long time. And I mean, heck, that's why I even chimed in and had this PlayStation. I've never owned a PlayStation in my life. Had this PlayStation Direct thing on, and I just kind of watched that at the corner of my eye while I was driving. I'm radical. I really am excited, even though I'm not getting it to my birthday next month, so everyone will be done with the games by then. But I'm excited about Mario 3D All-Stars because, my girlfriend Lindsay, she has nostalgia for the 64. That's about it. And we had been having Mario 64 dates where we order pizza and we collect like 15, 20 stars and take turns. And we've been doing that and eat food and the All-Stars collection bot came out, and she pre-ordered it for me for my birthday, and I'm excited to replay. I told her I have to restart since on a newfound Mario 64 with it being updated a bit, but she's never played stuff like Sunshine or Galaxy, so I'm actually really excited to revisit those games for the first time ever. I've never revisited either of them. And
wow,
it'll be really cool to it'd be really cool to re-dive in back into that nostalgia and to watch her experience those games for the first time.
That's exciting.
Because she only lived it through her brothers, and I don't think her brothers had those other games. I know they had the 64, and a lot of it was that, but I'm excited for her to experience that with her, So
yeah.
That'll be fun. That'll be cool. And I told her she wants to come on our show sometime. So I told her, maybe when we're done playing the trilogy, we can get her on and have I don't know, an experienced episode of what my lights are flickering in here, by the way. So if my power goes out, I'm sorry.
It's good.
But that would be really cool if to get her on for that. After we've played them stuff. So I'm excited about that. Anything else am I excited about? Radical Reckoning about? I guess maybe just my thoughts on this incoming third-party direct again. I actually I don't know. I was telling you guys and everyone else in the chat, I have no personal third-party game that I'm just dying to get on the Switch. I really am a Nintendo homebody. I really am looking out for those big Nintendo games, but I feel like I have the majority of the games I want third party on the Switch already. And, I don't know. I just feel like that there's going to be more to see here. It seems like the very first one we had was a waste of time. I don't know why they did it. The second one was better than the first one. There was more content there, but it wasn't amazing. I just feel like this third one's really going to be a bigger one for some reason. I feel like there's going to be some heavy hitters in here that people are like, oh, wow, yes, I can't believe this is coming to the Switch. And, so I think I expect something that's going to get some buzz tomorrow, for sure, with it. Don't know what that is, but we'll see.
Mario and Rabbids 2?
No, I don't think so. I really don't think anything, unless there's a massive holiday game like that. Nintendo normally has one. They have a massive holiday game that they're highly involved in, and I really just think I'm really still expecting a full-on Nintendo Direct eventually between October, probably by October. Yeah, I mean, really, if they want something for the holidays, I would imagine that's what they would do. So. I don't know. We'll see. That's really what I'm radical correcting about, though. I'm excited about it. We'll just play it by ear, and that's what I'm radical correcting about.
Cool. For myself, I would say I'm excited that grad school is going well. I just had my first class ever on Monday, and I was really scared and nervous and excited, but I just had no idea what to expect. I was always intimidated by the very thought of a grad class. I thought it would be super intense, and my class was awesome. I loved every second of it. My professor's amazing. Everyone in the class seems to be really cool, and it seems like we're all on the same level and the same age, so thankful for that. And I just had my internship respond to my email. I had to wait 2 months to email them about scheduling something, and I finally got an email today, and so I will be starting that I think next week. So very nervous about that, and but it's super important for my career, and hopefully it leads to some really cool and important things in my life. And also, I'm just excited about autumn in general. I feel like I kind of got screwed out of summer, but I'm going to take full advantage of autumn and just really enjoy the season as much as I can. So, yeah, because I didn't have time to enjoy summer with my certification class and stuff like that. So I'm going to go full throttle with my autumn enjoyment this year, I think. Gaming-wise, though, I've been playing Super Metroid with you, Ryan, and that has been awesome. I am so thankful that you've been doing that with me. So thank you very much for joining me. And I don't know how frustrating it might be for you, but it's been very fun for me.
I think it's been the opposite. Like, you're probably frustrated with me for all my technical issues I'm having with my stream.
Oh, no. I mean, I totally understand that.
It lasts like 2 hours of my problems.
That did take a while, yeah. But it was worth it in the end, because Super Metroid to me it's always been this game that I've been meaning to play, and I've always wanted to learn why it's so amazing, because I love Metroid Prime, and so this is obviously the predecessor to that. So so it's great to finally see why people appreciate Super Metroid. So, and honestly, like, I'm so glad that you and I are doing it together, because I wouldn't have the patience to play this game, because I don't have the time that I used to, like when I was a kid. And you point out things that I never really would have thought about or would have really been conscious of. So I'm glad that we can kind of like have this new neo-nostalgia together. At least it is for me. So that's cool.
I need that.
So
I need to do more duo sessions with, like, I haven't played Yoshi's Island 2, you know, I haven't played through Donkey Kong Country 2.
Okay,
I played
me too.
Land, but, you know, I mean, I'd love to do that with people, so it's awesome that we can just hand off the controller when we need to and just kind of work together and just have fun as friends.
Yeah, and now we can do that with Donkey Kong Country 2, and that's a game I just started, so if you want to do that after Super Metroid, let me know.
I'm game.
Yeah, great.
Wait, you've never played Donkey Kong Country 2?
I've played Donkey Kong Land
That
2,
is
same thing.
correct, unfortunately. I never had a Super Nintendo, that's why, so
wow.
Yeah. I have had it downloaded on the Wii U Virtual Console, but I only did that recently because it wasn't on the Super Nintendo Classic Mini thing, and it wasn't on the Virtual Console online, so whatever I'm saying, Nintendo Switch Online, so I'm like...
I would love to play Donkey Kong Country 2 with you, I think.
Let's do it.
It's my favorite Donkey Kong Country game ever. I mean, I think it's the best out of every Donkey Kong game that's ever made. I think it's the best one.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm still in the first world. I think I'm about to beat that boss, but I love it a lot so far, and I think it's definitely better than the first one.
Absolutely.
I just started playing the first... No, what am I saying? I played the first one, I don't know, like last year. I did finally beat it. And I liked it a lot. I think that it's aged a little strangely. Like, Super Mario World is a lot more precise. And Donkey Kong Country, like, the graphics are nice, but, like, they kind of take away from the gameplay in a way. Like, I feel like it's more style than it is substance. It is very good, but... Anyway, I think they learned a lot with Donkey Kong Country 2. So, we should make that a thing where we play handoff together with Donkey Kong Country 2. That would be awesome.
Yeah, let's do it.
But, besides that, I just got Luigi's Mansion 3, so I'm really excited for that. I wanted it last year, but it came out on Halloween, and I didn't have time, to play it, obviously. So I thought it would be a cool Halloween game to get involved with. And the last thing I'll say is I've been playing Mutant Mudds. I had the Atui collection for 3DS, and I'm jumping back into Mutant Mudds, and that is one of my favorite games ever. The music's amazing. The level design is super smart. I just can't say enough good things about it, and I hope more people play it. I just love that game.
Those Virtual Boy references are amazing.
Yes, seriously. And I'm starting to get to where there's like some unique secrets in the game, like secret worlds, so I'm about to be able to access them. So, such a rewarding game, and I just love every single second of it. It's awesome. Cool. Well, I think we will jump into our topic of the day, which is Wii Fit.
launched in North America on May 19th, 2008. It had an exclusive release at the Nintendo World Store in New York City 2 days before the general release. So it came out on the 21st for everyone else. It came out Nintendo World Store, now is Nintendo New York.
So Wii Fit was developed by Nintendo, and it actually introduced an entirely new genre into the gaming landscape, which is now known as extra gaming, which is a word that is very cringy for me to say in here, but I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's basically exercise gaming, and at the time, in 2008, this was completely new. And it honestly, the game came out of nowhere when it was announced, at least to me. I don't think there were any rumors about it. I don't remember seeing or hearing any. Maybe there was, but when it was announced, everyone was just like, "Whoa, this is wild! Like, this isn't even like a game, really." So I thought it was really intriguing. What did you guys think when the game was announced?
Myself personally, I thought it was really cool. Like, that was Nintendo at the time was really, they had started late in the game. I mean, they've always done this, but I really feel like they were doing the gimmicks more and more and more from late GameCube through to where they were then. And I remember always just being fascinated with showing my parents. It seemed like I could convince especially my mom, like, hey, like, there's something for you to do with this too. It's not just something for me to play, So it was a good way of enticing my mom into it. And I remember showing my mom, look, because I come from a family that's always been overweight, and back then I was in football and wrestling, and I was still very active with sports and whatnot. But I thought it was cool. Like, hey, let's use video games to try to get in shape and shake it up and make it fun. I don't recall actually ever getting the game. I didn't get the game until I was way older, and even then, I really mainly got it for my mom. I never played it with myself, So, but that's what I remember of it.
What about you, Ryan? What did you think when it was announced?
I know I got it at launch. I don't know what I thought, really. I was like, sure, I'm game, I'll try it, and, it, coming off of being really excited about Dance Dance Revolution and getting, like, kind of fit with that, it was really cool to have this Nintendo thing, and we had the Mario Dance mix or whatever, but I liked this fitness in video games thing, and it wasn't cool to do DDR, especially in your home. Like, if you go to the arcade, maybe it's cool, but, and so, like, I felt like this was more something that I could get anybody into, not just, like, the gaming rhythm stuff, but just exercising. And, like, I think the yoga stuff was what really, like, interested me the most. And then when they talked about balancing, and I've got balancing issues, so it helped me refocus my center and everything, and I thought that was really cool that it had all those things, and it also taught me some things about stretching that I didn't know, and it kind of leveled up my exercise game, and I've definitely I should probably dust that off and play it some more, but it's really cool.
Yeah, I remember, like I said, when it was announced, I didn't see that coming. I thought it was totally out of nowhere, but also really genius as well. It really leaned into Nintendo's new strategy at the time that really encompassed the entire identity of the Wii, really, which is the Blue Ocean strategy. And for those of you who don't know what that is, Miyamoto, or at least a lot of the executives at Nintendo, they figured that, gamers are basically, there's a stereotype about gamers that they're all like, young-ish 20, 30-something boys and men, and they really wanted to expand from that and branch out and bring new people into the mix. So that really did have that was an important factor with the Wii in general. So Wii Fit was a way of them really reaching new audiences. So exercise is something that is important for every single person. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what your background is, what your race is. anything like that. Everyone has to exercise, period. So this is something that everyone could get behind and enjoy, and it was really clever because Nintendo, nobody does it like Nintendo. They basically Nintendo-fied or gamified exercise. So I just thought that was really genius. But one thing that was one of the main reasons that I didn't run out and get this game was because it was a little bit more expensive than other games at the time. So most Wii games at that time were $50. But this game, I remember, was $80, and that's because it included an accessory known as the Wii Balance Board, which, truthfully, is a very incredible piece of technology, especially back then, and it holds up quite well even today. What did you guys think about the Wii Balance Board?
Revolutionary.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
Oh, that was good.
So it was like a scale, but it had 4 points to it, and could tell which way you were leaning, and that was so cool. Encouraged, it could measure your posture and how well you're standing.
Yeah. My nostalgia for this game stems from my mom getting this game, actually. And you guys don't know my mom, but my mom does not play video games at all. So I was really surprised when she said, hey, do you want to get this Wii Fit game that I heard about? I was like, okay, I mean, if you're going to pay for it, sure. Mm-hmm. And she did, and it honestly changed my life forever. But I'm sure I'll get into that later. Did you guys get Wii Fit right away?
Yes, I did pick it up right away. Jacob, I think, got it a little later. I did buy this one much later for Christmas. I bought my mom a Wii and Wii Fit so that she could, get into that. And it never went anywhere. She never hooked it up. She can't figure out how to hook up a VCR and get turned to the right channel, let alone get the Wii to work. So she's technologically challenged. I did get it for her, and I don't know if she ever played it for sure, but I wanted to get her into the healthy video gaming too.
Yeah. I'm positive I never got this game until... I'm pretty positive I borrowed it from, Ryan for a long period of time at one point, just to try it out and have it for a little bit. But I never actually bought it and used it on a daily basis back then. I did buy it for my mom when the Wii U came out. I remember, because I gave my mom my Wii when I got the Wii U. For Christmas, I gave her all my Wii stuff, and I bought her the board and the game so she could use it, and she never did, so I took it back, actually. But now I have it as a collection. But yeah, that's what that's really my main experience with it. I did do everything. I did do the push-ups, I did the yoga, I tested it out, I played through it, but it was not something that I ran out and bought. Especially when it initially came out, I wasn't really into fitness like I became. But I did thoroughly enjoy what I played. It is a cool experience.
Yeah. I didn't run out and get it, like I mentioned, mostly because it was very expensive. But since my mom got it, I was like, okay. But I thought the announcement was very cool, but for some reason, I just wasn't that interested in the game, and it really threw me off because I absolutely fell in love with this game. I played this game every single day, just how they anticipated people playing it, just a little bit every single day. And it was just something that I really looked forward to doing. I would wake up, and the first thing I would do is do my run. I think it was free run or something, and then do a little bit of aerobics, a little bit of strength training. But I have so much nostalgia for that, and this game changed my perspective on fitness and exercise forever. But something that I really appreciate that they did with this game is that it's so easy to use that even my mom could use it. And Ryan, you gave your own example, but my mom still has trouble with her iPhone and you name it, just the TV remote, and so she was able to navigate Wii Fit perfectly. I was really amazed. It's so perfectly designed. It's almost like Nintendo worked with Apple to make this game so easy to understand,
I got frustrated with it because it kept calling me fat, essentially,
Yeah.
It did that to everyone.
Yeah.
I would bring friends over and I'd be like, hey, check out this Wii Fit game, because they would ask me about it. And we did like the BMI test, the body test and stuff. And these people were like very healthy. They weren't big. They didn't have any health issues. And the scale for when they did the body test was like off the charts. And I'm like, that's just, that's just wrong, first of all. And also, like, it's kind of insulting when it shouldn't be. These were pretty thin people. So I was really surprised by that. So I think I do wish they kind of changed their scale a little bit, because I was kind of on the higher medium end, and I was 115 pounds at the time, so I'm like, I don't know about this, but but the scale itself was really, really impressive. I did not expect it to be so precise. Something that you see in the game is there's like this dot that kind of shows you where your center of balance is. And so I just thought it was a weight, but it really is super precise in what it picks up and detects in regards to your balance. And I just thought that they implemented these sensors in such clever ways into the game.
Yeah, playing games, mini games. So it was really fun what you talk about with that sensor. You could do certain mini games with that, and like you would have to stay in the circle on the right or stay on the left, and you were getting a workout by focusing on a game, not focusing on your workout. Like that wasn't the mindset. The mindset was beat this game the best you can,
right?
Which was cool. It was a great mixture. I definitely I know, Chris, that this game kind of inspired you to go down a track of health and fitness. I'd love for you to dive into that more. Like, why was this the tipping point that got Chris down to personal trainer Chris and get you on that road of health?
Yeah, so like I said before, I had very little interest in the game. I appreciated it for what it was, but when I started playing it, there was this kind of connection where I noticed why exercise was so important to everyone, and especially to me. When I started doing like the free run mini games, I feel like really nobody did that except for me. There was just something so positive and relaxing about that in a way. And so I noticed that the more that I exercised, the better I felt. And so I kind of associated exercise with these positive feelings, and so that kept bringing me back and back even more. And
funny how that worked.
Yeah, and the more that I exercised, the more I felt better about myself, because I started to become healthier. I started to gain muscle. My days just felt better in general, and so I think that this game kind of changed my perspective in how I view fitness and health in general, whereas it shouldn't be something that you should feel forced to do. It can be fun. It's just changing the way that you think about it. And I think that Nintendo's approach to turning exercise into a game was such a clever way of doing that, and I really appreciate that, and I always will for the rest of my life. And it really started placed the stepping stones, I don't know what the phrase is, for the career that I now have. Took me some time to get there, but it really started my I don't know, it allowed me to really appreciate health and really connect with it. So yeah, what about you, Jacob?
Yeah, I think when I use this a lot more, back in, I was always overweight. I come from an overweight family. When I played sports, I was an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman. When I graduated high school in 2010, I was almost 300 pounds. And then I lost almost 100 pounds within that year of 2010 to 2011. I started in the summer of August of 2010, and I went on a mission, and I lost almost 100 pounds in about 6 to 8 months there. And the Wii Fit was part of that. It's not the sole thing. I'm not going to sit here and say that I alone lost almost 100 pounds because of that. No, I did a lot of different things, and it changed my whole lifestyle up. But I used that. I do remember using that to supplement and to do different workouts in, because that was my biggest thing too. Was I just did what I hated to start to lose weight. Like I beforehand, it was bench press 5 pounds and just really heavy weight, or squat. Just really. I mean, I squatted 515 pounds my senior year of high school, and I no longer didn't want to do that. I wanted to lose weight, and I wanted to fit in smaller clothes because I never had, and I focused more on my flexibility and my core and things of that nature. So I started to run a lot more and just do what a fat man hates to run. So I started doing what I hated, and I forced myself, and you got a little bit better and a little bit better. I won't sit here and say, and maybe you'll disagree, but I won't sit here and say that I believe somebody's going to get in tremendous shape off of Wii Fit alone, or they're going to get an amazing shape off of Ring Fit Adventure. Like, I think they're fun. I think they're supplemental. And I think they will do good things. But like you're going to get benefit from it if you do it. But I think that's all just very elementary entry thing, and it's a great way to get somebody who's not good at exercise or who's intimidated by it into down a path to where, hey, you can condition yourself to go. Say you did Ring Fit Adventure, and you're going to naturally get better in shape with that. But then I think it's time to graduate, and I think that after doing something like that, you may be able to get into a gym and start doing things that you could not have done before you did these conditioning things, and build your own confidence, though. Because what you said earlier about Nintendo changing like the way the mindset, and really ultimately that's what it takes to get in shape. It's not a diet. It's not like let's go jog for a month. It's literally changing your lifestyle and your mindset. When you change, that's why I'm not a big fan of like people who want a quick pill or a quick supplement, or even people who have gastric bypass surgery, because it's not. My dad had gastric bypass surgery, and he's put almost all that entire weight back on, and because it's not. It doesn't change the problem. The problem is the mindset. Mm-hmm. Your mindset. You have to look yourself in the mirror, accept what you are if you are overweight, and say, I want to change. And that's ultimately what I did. I looked myself in the mirror, and I used to always be shy or embarrassed about being fat and overweight. I didn't want people to think that of me. But it wasn't until I looked in the mirror and said, you know what? You are overweight. You are fat. And if you want to lose weight, you need to do something about it. So I just accepted where I was, and I worked from there. And I took things like Wii Fit. I took small things like, let's buy a bike instead of drive around. Let's ride my bike. I used to make life harder. I used to like put a backpack on, and I would purposely just fill it with heavy items just because I knew I was burning more calories by carrying this backpack with me. I didn't have to. I'd park the furthest parking spot away from the building I was going into on purpose, and then jog into the building, and then jog back out later because I wanted to burn more calories, and I've learned and developed a lot more over the years. Like, I've done so many different workout programs, from all the P90X, Insanity, doing my own thing at the gym, building my own programs. I've done so much, and I've seen different results and have learned what I like and don't like. But I think something like Wii Fit really is a great entry point for people, especially if you are just nervous. People, again, you just have to have the mindset that don't expect to go get a washboard ad from Wii Fit or this ultra lean body, because fitness is more than that. You got to eat good. You do. Like, there is a nutrition side to it. It's true. I just smashed 3 muffins and cookies tonight. That's not going to get me the body I want. But if you get in that mode and you really want to work out hard, then do it. Back then, I was just focused on burning calories. That was my biggest thing. I wasn't focused on like carbs or fat. I was more focused on like macros, things that you learn about when you get deeper into it. But I was really just all about my calories. And I remember, like, if I didn't have time, or maybe I really wanted to switch up my workout, I would do something. Like, I used to play, shamefully, I used to just play that Just Dance. I would do it just for, like, a couple hours with my sister or something, just to mix it up to be fun. So, because I was breathing heavy, and I just wanted to burn calories, and I didn't want to go on a run that day, because maybe it was snowy and cold out. So we would just dance for a few hours to burn calories. Same mindset, you know? So that's really what I think and about this, and I think it's really great that the Nintendo world has it, because I maybe I'm wrong, but I have a stigmatism in my brain that I grew up with people. A lot of the people I knew who gamed were overweight, and I was one of those people. And you game and you eat junk food, and I think that combining those worlds of like, hey, let's game and be healthy, is a cool concept. It's definitely foreign, but I think it needs to be in the mix. I mean,
yeah, it's really important.
Yeah.
It's an important contribution. Ryan. So, what's your experience with this game? What kind of impact did this game have on you?
I started out my fitness journey with just Dance Dance Revolution, and like that's what I did.
Oh, yeah.
I drank tons and tons of water, and I just danced like all day. I just like
Dance
I'm
the
gonna
night
figure out
away.
how to do this. I'm gonna go through all the tutorials. I started with economics back on PS1.
Let me get that Mario DVR.
And just worked really hard at it. Got better and better and better. And I never really got past like basically the moderate setting. But I did get there to that point where I had huge muscles, like calf muscles. And I'd always have people ask me like, "How did your muscles get so big?" I'm like, "Just playing DDR, man." And then
Wow.
that evolved into me starting weight training and walking everywhere. I strapped weights to my ankles, and I put a 40 pound bag with my game consoles and screen in it, and I just walk everywhere with it. And I could plug it in anywhere, and it was GameCube and PS2, and I had my dance pads and stuff, and I could just set up anywhere and dance too, and that was kind of my game crazy days. And I just did a bunch of like just intentionally going the extra bit to get that exercise in.
Right.
And so I picked up Wii Fit because I wanted it to be a formal like into the world of fitness. I wanted it to teach me proper habits and proper like techniques and stuff, and like balance was a big part of it, and that was really cool to pick that up. That was one of the first things that I realized is, oh, my posture when I do things, that makes a difference. And it showed me exactly how I was leaning, and it made me kind of reposition my body and think about that, and it helped a lot. I was really careful and delicate with my balance board. I didn't want to like run on it like too hard and stuff. Like I was worried I was gonna break it,
Right. They do give you that warning too, like with the mannequin. That's like, hey, don't jump on your Wii Fit balance board, and don't have a chair nearby or something like that. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's what I would do. Is like I did DDR, and then I strapped the ankle weights and played DDR with those on, and then I started walking everywhere with that on, and just trying to. And part of that was drawn from Dragon Ball Z. No lie. I mean, yeah, that was something that inspired me too. I know that's Jacob's story, but definitely like the weighted clothing. I always looked into that. Like, what could I do to have weighted clothing? And that always fascinated me. Just put more, like, kind of just give my body more to burn and to work through and stuff. So that was fun. But the Wii Fit kind of focused me on how to actually go about doing the proper techniques and things like that. I wish I would have given it more time and really gotten super invested in it. I don't know what distracted me from it, but I definitely enjoyed my time with it. And even on into Ring Fit Adventure, its natural evolution. there's a lot of potential there. I did want to shout out real quick before we move on. There's someone in our podcasting group, one of the listeners. I think he's more like Nintendo guru side of things, but his name is Joey Splats, and he was a pretty big guy, and he started doing Ring Fit Adventure and eating right, and he's lost so much weight, and it's just amazing to see that transformation that Nintendo has brought him, and has a community that cheers him on, and I'd love to have that kind of community to back me and cheer me on and everything, and just have that support group. So I know you guys are big health nuts, so.
Yeah, sure. It's really interesting to see how Wii Fit has affected people in very different ways. I've even heard stories from other people, and they had their own unique experience with it. So that's really interesting that you were really interested on improving your balance. Like for me, that wasn't something that I was really thinking of when I started playing the game, but then I did become a lot more aware of like my posture and my balance and stuff like that. It was not something I really expected to learn about. So that's really interesting. I think that the game does such a great job in making people have this game work for them in their own unique way. It's very customizable, and they did improve upon this with the game that came out after this, Wii Fit Plus, where you would be able to kind of create your own exercise regimen, which is definitely something that the first one was missing. Like, it does help a lot to have like, one exercise for you to do one exercise and then for the next one to come up right after, as opposed to just being like, I feel like doing this, I'll do it again. It's good to have like a more strict regimen like that, even though there's nothing wrong with that. But it is good that they have this customizability, and it makes the fitness, like getting into fitness, a lot more approachable. Jacob brought up a really good point where it just makes the experience, the game is meant for people who are new to fitness and might be intimidated by going to a gym. After I did get Wii Fit, I did join a gym about like 2 or 3 years later, so I can definitely say that Wii Fit introduced me to that whole world. And unfortunately I can't go to the gym right now, but I cannot wait to go back. So Wii Fit is definitely played a pivotal role in that. And like Jacob said, Jacob brought up a good point where don't expect to, lose a lot of weight with Wii Fit. The whole point of the game is to introduce you to fitness, get comfortable with it, feel good about it, get the dopamine going, and have you associate that with exercise. Because I don't know if you guys, can relate, but after a while, because I did dedicate myself to it for a while, it became like too easy, where it was almost like a waste of time. Right. So I had to find new ways to challenge myself with new exercises, because that's the whole point of fitness. You can't keep doing the same things over and over again. You have to kind of confuse your body, and when you do the same things after a while, you're not going to really see that much progress. So I am thankful that at least with Wii Fit, they kind of gave me like a foundation for my exercise journey. I learned from the exercises that they gave me and kind of branched out. Like I would, towards the end when I felt a little more advanced, I would add weights into the mix. I would like kick even higher or something. I just found new ways to kind of challenge myself. And I don't think I would have had that kind of mindset were it not for Wii Fit. So, that's
great.
Yeah,
I like that you said that. Eventually it gets to the point where it was just a waste of time, and I don't mean that to I don't say that to deflate people or make them feel less. It's a good thing if you get to the point where you feel like it's not really doing anything.
Right.
Because
I shouldn't have said waste of time. It just was not as productive for me.
It's kind of pointless to stay in elementary school when you need to move up,
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And you just make a fine point that everyone has to graduate at some points. I find it funny, and maybe it's just me being a jerk, but I find it funny when I hear, like, back when Wii Fit Adventure came out, and I'd hear, like, on, like, I don't know, like, NBC, they'd talk about, like, how, oh, this is a really hard workout, and this is really, really challenging, and I just chuckle to myself, because I think, like, I'm sure you would feel something, but it's not, like, I've done really hard workouts, you know, and I just know that, like, that alone wouldn't be, that would be something great, where it's like, you know, I'm just going to take it easy for the weekend, so maybe I'll stay home and I'll just do a Ring Fit Adventure for fun, and that would be it, instead of go to the gym and hit an hour and a half workout of my usual stuff. But again, that's because I've been doing this for over 10 years. You know, I'm not in the best of shape right now due to my life circumstances, but I know how to be disciplined and get in the grind and get focused and do what I have to do to get back to the Super Saiyan style body that I like to carry around most of the time. So, just to comment on that.
Yeah. I mean, I am thankful that I feel like I kind of graduated from what they offered, but for people who are new to fitness, they do introduce some new things and modes and little details to kind of ease you into things. Like after each workout, you kind of you use the Wii remote, you point at the TV screen, and you put like a stamp on that calendar day, and that's kind of like your little reward. And so
that's cool.
Yeah, and every time you turn on the game, you see this calendar, and so you want to be like, hey, I want to get stamps on every single day, and so that encourages you to exercise every single day. So it's not meant to be played for a long time for like over a weekend. This is a lifestyle, which is very unique and different. So the replayability for this game is very different from, say, Mario Galaxy, where you could just bang that out in a weekend. This is something that they want you to do casually every once in a while and for 10 or so minutes a day. So I thought that was really interesting and a very different approach. And they do that with the stamps. They give you feedback like, hey, your balance is a little bit off, which would probably mean that your back is not as straight as it should be, or something like that. And so they do give you these little bits of feedback that's very friendly and not too harsh.
I would even say, not to cut you off, but the game not only does it teach people how to introductory level to fitness, it teaches them how to like what you just said out teaching. It gives you stamps, it gives you incentive, it teaches people how to just approach a gym setting, how to approach health and fitness, because whether you're playing this game or not, that's stuff you should do. Like you should write down your workout and look at your progress that you made from day 1 to day 17. And you should celebrate on those rewards. And maybe you're not getting a digital stamp to get stuff done, but you work out all the days you wanted to work out because you're writing it down. And then I am a fan of rewarding yourself. Go have a cheat day or a cheat meal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it teaches people good habits.
Yep.
Exactly. About how to get into a healthy lifestyle, not just about how to do certain poses or positions with exercise.
Right. I think they focus more on positivity. They don't really bash you if you skip a day. They'll just be like, "Oh, we missed you, so let's jump right back into it." They're not just like, "Where have you been? You should have been exercising." It's a very positive experience, and it's just very. Very, very friendly in a way. So guys, this game is really customizable, and they give you a lot of different options that you can play a certain type of mini game if you want, or you can do mostly strength training, do a little bit of yoga and strength training. So I'm really curious what your play style with this game was like. Because there were definitely some modes where I just didn't really play it that much. Like, the mini games were really cool. I just played them today. But, what did you guys do when you played this game? Did you do mostly strength training? Did you do a little bit of everything? Did you just play the mini games? What's your, what was your play style like?
for me, like, yoga was kind of the focus, and just, that was really my big thing. I wanted to learn that side of things.
Yeah.
And I felt like that was a whole area of fitness and flexibility that I wanted, that I'd never tapped into in my life. So that was really what I wanted to get out of it, and I learned a lot of that stuff. And I found out my body wasn't as flexible as I'd hoped, but I also learned how to get my body to that point and work on that. And I probably could use some of those, go back to the basics and learn some of that stuff again now, for sure.
Yeah. I actually, now that you mentioned that, I didn't even really know what yoga was at the time. So this was kind of my entry point into yoga, and I'm a little behind on that. I haven't really done yoga in a couple of years, but I really want to. And I did really enjoy yoga. Like, this game introduced me to yoga, like what it's about. It's not about getting strong. It's about kind of calming your mind and stretching and just kind of being in tune with your body. So, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Jacob, what about you? What was your play style like?
I did a little bit of everything. At the time when I lost all this weight too, I was doing a lot of P90X, and P90X has a lot of, it's a lot of cardio and a lot of strength, but they have a whole segment of yoga. So it kind of felt like a definitely a huge watered down step from what I was getting into. But it was, I did a little bit of everything. Like I said, back when I played it, my focus was I just wanted to burn a lot of calories. So I would definitely do a lot more stuff that was updating getting my heart rate going and building my strength up. So I'd say probably most of those is what I did. Definitely had fun with the mini games.
Cool. I mostly did. I did do a little bit of everything. I think I did like 2 yoga things per session, just so I could like stretch and kind of calm down. And I did do mostly strength training for a while, but my personal favorite thing, and I mentioned this before, was I think it's called like free run, where you basically put the Wii remote in your pocket, and this is so embarrassing to admit, but you put the Wii remote in your pocket, and you basically just run around in your room. And they give you like this fake setting, and actually, it's actually it's a setting that has been brought back and has had many cameos in future Nintendo games. So in Woohoo Island, Wii Fit introduced Woohoo Island to the world, and it's basically just this serene, me-filled world that's just very pleasant, just like a kind of a generic island, but just a little happy place. So it was just fun to, run around, and they had these little Easter eggs. I don't know if you guys ever did this mode, but as you are running in this mode, you'll notice as you're running, because your character is running in the game, that there's these little Easter eggs, these Nintendo Easter eggs, all over the environment, and each time you run, it's a little bit different. So as you're running on the bridge, you'll see like a little 8-bit Koopa Troopa, or in the cave, like if you look at the ceiling, there's like a 8-bit Mario, and they just have these like little cute little things that you notice if you keep your eyes peeled. So I really appreciated that and thought it was clever, and kind of kept me
I didn't know you could do that, honestly.
Yeah. This is very cool. Like, it's totally unnecessary, but it was just fun to kind of be engaged in that environment, and also kind of teaches you to, like, as you're running, kind of be aware of your settings and appreciate what's around you. Kind of notice things that you didn't really notice before. Because when I'm running, I usually look at my phone or I'm listening to music and not really conscious of my surroundings. So it did kind of reframe my mind in that way.
What do you think about? So obviously, this is what Wii Fit was. We already talked about Ring Fit Adventure.
Right.
I feel like this kind of brings up a good question here. Where do you want to see Nintendo go? Do you think, first off, they're going to continue down this route of health and fitness more frequently, or is this like a once every system type of game? Or what would you like to see? Like, because I didn't know that Wahoo Island or whatever was actually something you could run around in with the Wii. I didn't know you could do that. And I think that's really cool. I think it would be cooler and more fascinating if they made, like, you talk about a world of virtual reality, and Nintendo dips their toes into it. I mean, what if, you had that experience of where, like, I'm running through the Mushroom Kingdom physically, and it's not necessarily about collect all the power stars and beat Bowser, but you are just running in an environment and experiencing that environment by moving your body and getting it going, and like the intensity of what the workouts are. We talk about graduating, can be the type of game you're in. You want to be, I don't know. It's just like ideas I'm thinking of right here. Like, that would be really cool.
If you take a look back,
I love that.
The Wii Fit series, I believe, is a trilogy right now. Because you have Wii Fit
Yes.
Plus, and there's Wii Fit U, which
Yes.
I don't even think I ever touched. Wii Fit U, I have the game, I have the pedometer, but again, you had a pedometer that you stuck on the side of your waist, and it worked very similar to the PokeWalker back
Right.
when, where it tracked your steps, and you could actually take your workout, your Wii Fit workout, with you wherever you go, and that's part of it. I think that's an evolution of it. It would be cool to actually go in the real world on walks, take that Pokemon Go idea, that augmented reality, where you'd maybe have like a lens or something that you put where it put an overlay over like the world that you're in, and you see these different things like the 8-bit Marios and things like that. But just kind of expand it into the AR space, like they're doing with Mario Kart, where you can like create living space or wherever you can set up tracks wherever. This you can make your workout wherever, you can walk wherever, and everything, and like that's where I see things becoming more augmented reality, and even in virtual reality they have, it's a lot more expensive, but they have those track pads that you can actually walk on, and it tracks your walking and movements and things like that. It's really expensive tech, but it's something that could be, you could run it in a VR space like that. It's pretty cool, and you may have seen like some mock-ups and stuff in like some movies. I think Ready Player One kind of maybe touched on that a little bit. I don't know if they showed it exactly, but they definitely touched on it in the book and things to that nature. And they do touch on like staying fit even when in those digital worlds and stuff. I can see that's something that Nintendo tapped into and really being a big focus on.
Fighting games, I think, would be a perfect. I mean, could you imagine if you got your own like, maybe not Smash Bros. Style, but like a Tekken style game, and you're okay. Punch Out. We talked about Punch Out. Punch Out. I think Nintendo kind of did it. They did have a little boxing thing with Wii, with the original Wii Sports, but that could have been a whole on like put you in the world of Punch Out, and you're fighting the characters of Punch Out, and it's an extreme thing. Like you have to move your whole body, and I could see accessories being used for like how you move your feet and how you are using your hands. I mean, there are gyms out there dedicated just to boxing, and you can get shredded with it, and I'm just saying that is something I could see being an expert level game if people want to get really serious, especially in a cardio mode and just get lean. And if you want to be somebody who wants to maybe get started out and it definitely challenges you and it's fun, make something like Mario Simulator. You talk about Mario Run, well, there you go. You got Mario Run right there in virtual reality.
You bring up a good point.
Yeah, go on.
The Wii Punch-Out game actually had balance board integration that tracked your leaning and everything. Like they did, they actually capitalized on that with the balance board in the Wii era with that, and that's perfect. Like they do that stuff.
Right, and Super Monkey Ball.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm joking,
DDR,
but
DDR
like they really did have that. But no, that's you guys bring up some really great ideas. Jacob, that was a great question, and the both of you have some really clever ideas that I never really would have thought about. Something that's interesting that I was reading about before we recorded, there's a really fascinating Iwata Asks, I don't know what you would call that, article that you can find on Nintendo.com where Miyamoto basically talks about his thought process in making this game, and I highly recommend it to everyone. It's really interesting. He's a really fascinating guy, obviously, but something that they were considering with Wii Fit in particular is they were considering DS integration where you would be able to take a picture of your food and upload that to Wii Fit, and they would do something thing with that, like maybe, think about calories or whatever. So I think there's so much potential with this type of genre now that it exists and is, it was really popular at the time. I don't know how it is right now, but the potential for this type of category is really limitless, and we're now at a point where technology is bringing new things into the mix. Ryan, you had a really great point with AR, and I think that's going to be huge. I think the AR technology is going to be huge for the fitness industry. And yesterday, Apple announced their new service, Apple Fitness Plus. And so I think they have some really clever ideas, and I guarantee you they're going to use augmented reality with that in the next couple years. So it is really cool to see some interesting experiments in that regard. And I think Ring Fit Adventure, I'm still just speechless as to how genius that game is. The way
I still need to get it.
What's that?
I still need to get it and play it. I've never even played it.
See, you keep saying
good.
Everyone's complaining that it's like a tough workout. It's probably nothing. So Wii Fit was not much of a workout. Ring Fit is a workout.
Yes.
Trust me on that. And I'm pretty fit, and I still struggle with it. Although when I did start playing Wii Fit again, I was kind of breathing a little heavy. I was like, "Ooh, this is not good. I need to catch up on some stuff."
Yeah, right.
But I think Wii Fit was such a great first start with this genre. I think Ring Fit is so perfectly done, because something that Wii Fit was missing was a reason to keep coming back, because you do get to a point where you plateau, and then it's just like, okay, well, I don't need to come back to this anymore. So it gives you a reason to come back, because now there's a story and you can level up. And they also have some really cool mini games. I mean, I know Wii Fit had mini games, and I thought that was a really clever way of making exercise interesting as well. I personally don't have any ideas of my own, but I am really
I got
impressed
so many
by
coming
your
to my
ideas.
head, but I don't know if Nintendo would invest in it. I think it'd be awesome to put talk about you want to get more advanced. I mean, I could see you putting your Joy-Cons on your ankles and doing something where Nintendo has an accessory jump box, for example. You can use a box. Or you could use your chair if that was more simple. But imagine if Nintendo made a box that calculated your steps, and you could raise the level of it and do higher jumps, jump up on your box and jump down. There's just so many different exercises that you can incorporate to really just make this. If I could work out at home with my Nintendo gear all the time, dude, I would. That would be amazing. Imagine if they made their own dumbbells that could be heavy, and there's a place to slip your Joy-Con in that dumbbell somehow, and it registers what you're doing and integrates it into your game. Because the biggest thing is, I'm all about weight training. Weight training, I think, is very, very, very important, especially if you want to put on muscle, and if you want to lean out. It's needed. So I really think, man, it would cost a lot of money, and I don't know if people would buy into it enough in the gaming world for Nintendo to see the investment on it, but I would be all over it if I could.
You also have to consider Japanese markets and what their culture is with exercise, which I don't know what that is, really. I hear a lot of people are, I think, are reclusive in a lot of ways, but I don't know. You don't hear about gyms in Japan necessarily. I'm sure they exist or something, but
I feel like it was definitely a Western target with Wii Fit.
It makes you wonder, and I like the breaking down the barriers, with your Ring Fit Adventure. It's on the Switch. What can the Switch do? Set up anywhere with the kickstand, and you could exercise there. Now, I will say the experience is a little difficult on a small screen like that, but it's still doable. I've played in the lobby at work, and I exercised there, and I looked like an idiot to people that were coming back from their lunch break, but I was working out, it was working, and I could do it wherever I wanted.
I mean, people do that with Beachbody On Demand now is your app that you can have on your phone. I take my phone to the gym and I would just do my workouts instead. Like, you know, back when I lost my weight, it was buy the DVD set for $150 and they sent it to you. Now I get every workout that they've ever made right there on my phone, and I would set my phone up at the gym and just work out and watch my phone. So, I mean, really, that's not even an issue anymore. It really isn't. As long as you can get over, who cares if someone is looking at you?
That's a hard part.
Why
that barrier,
just get over it.
That self-consciousness.
You got to get over it. Screw those people and focus on yourself is what I say.
It's really interesting that Nintendo, well, they did have Ring Fit recently, but Wii Fit sold 21 million copies, and Wii Fit Plus sold 22 million copies. So with both of those together, they sold about 44 million copies. And so it's really interesting to see that they have this new approach with Ring Fit, and I am glad that they went in that direction because Wii Fit U really bombed, and I mean it's mostly because it was a very lazy upgrade. They basically didn't add too much, so I am pretty conflicted in the idea of like a straightforward fitness application, which is kind of what I would consider Wii Fit to be. It's like kind of just a gamified fitness application versus Ring Fit Adventure, where it's like this game like with a story and something that you can engage in. So I don't know which one I would prefer, but I am glad that both kind of exist, although I think that there still could be a market for a typical, you know, gamified fitness app on Switch.
Just imagine if Nintendo, you talk about quality of life. That was one of the things that I kept talking about. We all think it pretty much died and went under the radar at this point, but that they kept focusing on that. I mean, imagine, you know, how everyone wants the online subscription. Imagine if Nintendo actually had an online exercise subscription you could download to your system, and it's all dedicated to what Wii Fit was. It's like the future of it, and you can have your yoga programs, or you can have cardio programs, or you can have body training, weight training, strength training programs within there. And just imagine you're paying for that subscription, and the more you log in and the more workouts you complete, if Nintendo actually gave you like My Nintendo point for reward, like gave you incentive to actually exercise, I think that would be freaking genius.
I would love to work out with DK.
I mean, it is genius. That's a great idea.
Thank you, Nintendo. Send me the check.
I would love to work out with DK, you know?
Yeah. I mean, they did release Jump Rope Challenge, which was really cool, totally free, and was great for parents and kids because we're all cooped up in our houses because of COVID. So I thought that was really cool. Very, again, out of nowhere idea. And so, I mean, you have to expect the unexpected when it comes to Nintendo. Maybe they'll just release another Wii Fit version. Maybe they'll release a sequel to Ring Fit Adventure now that it's a hit. It really wasn't when it came out, I don't think, but now that everyone's cooped up, it's like a huge hit.
It's a wonderful tool.
It's
how many
great.
did it sell? Do we know?
It's
Ring
Fit
Adventure.
That's a
couple million, I want to say now, probably.
And that's just the physical copies, because we don't know the digital copies. I don't think they released that information.
The kid, I wouldn't think.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah. But something that's really fascinating about both of these types of games, Wii Fit and Ring Fit Adventure, is that they just take this one simple concept, this balance board, or this ring thing, I think it's like a Pilates ring, and they just run with it, and they put every single possible idea that they could think of into both of those things. And so I'm really curious to see if they see more potential in either of those, or if they're just going to come up with something completely brand new. But they did pioneer this category of gaming, and you know, it was pretty hot for a while, and then it kind of died off, but it's starting to be pretty popular again. You know, with the success of Ring Fit Adventure, Apple is, you know, starting their new service, and I'm sure that other people are going to start trickling into this market. So I'm curious if they're going to keep going with it, or if they're just going to be weird and Nintendo-y about it.
I've got to ask the question, though. This is a really important question. What happened
I feel like it's not
to the vitality sensor?
Yes. I think they did discuss that. I forget what they said, though. I feel like I just heard about it, too, and I don't remember what the results of that was. Do you know what happened?
With the Vitality sensor. It's basically a heart rate
I was
monitor.
too.
But playing a horror game and it measuring how high my heart rate jumps up when I have some scare moment, that would be awesome. But anyway.
Hey, do you guys remember the mini game in Wii Fit? I think it's called Lotus Focus, where you have to sit on the Wii balance board and you have to remain as still as possible.
I couldn't do it.
And the game measures. I couldn't do it either. I was doing it today, and I was like, okay, I'm sitting, I'm not moving, and I failed right away.
I do remember it. Yeah.
They try to scare you. They'll have someone. It'll sound like someone's walking behind you, or there's a voice nearby, or a creaking floor. And I'm like, really? Even when I was 18 at the time, which isn't that young, but I'm sure even young people wouldn't get scared by that because it's just creaking, nothing too crazy. But I did not understand that mini game at all. But they did experiment with that kind of genre though with Wii Fit. They really did think of everything. Did you guys have any favorite mini games? I'll have this be the last thing that we talk about.
I really don't remember too much of them. I just remember there's one where you're skiing and you're side to side and you really feel that in your core. It really was a good core ab and radius workout there. So you really hit your obliques. I really felt like with that. So I do remember that one more than anything. And side note before Ryan goes, talk about bring back the Power Glove. Nintendo, maybe we don't need dumbbells. Bring us weighted gloves that is the new form of the Power Glove. And you put I can see it now. The Joy-Con goes in the grips of it, and I may have bought 30-pound gloves, but it's because it's for my workout, and you could. Imagine punching with 30-pound gloves, or imagine doing workouts where it's you're curling weight with that. Dude, oh my gosh. We're sitting on a gold mine right now.
Write it down.
And Ryan, what about you? Sorry, minigame?
I don't know exactly. I found out my senior year of high school, we went on a class trip, and they had skiing, and I could not figure out the side-to-side motion to do skiing. I could do snowboarding, all right, but skiing I couldn't figure out, and so I was awful at this mini game when I tried it. I couldn't do it. I didn't get that balancing thing. I have issues with understanding my body's center and balance and how to shift my weight.
It might not just be you, though. It could just be the game being weird, because there are some games where I'm I don't get this, And also, they try to train you to, have this centered balance, but it just didn't feel natural to me. Mm-hmm. I feel like they kind of expected it to feel natural to you, but I just lean a little bit back, and that's just natural to me. I just feel like leaning a little forward, a little more center is just not for me personally. So, it might not just be you. But I was playing the mini games today because it's been a while since I played them, and honestly, I thought they were really fun, and I think there's potential for them to be fun party games. So, if you're having a bunch of people over, I think Wii Fit mini games could be a pretty big hit. Honestly,
I don't remember any of the mini games, and if you mentioned a few, I might oh yeah, I totally did that one, but I don't know if I stepped much outside and tried the different modes, and that's something I want to encourage people to do if you do have Ring Fit Adventure. Step outside of just the game. There's a lot of stuff you can do in there. You can even make your own workout routine. It does have that Wii Fit element to it if you look for it.
Exactly. Yep. I didn't really play the mini games when I had Wii Fit originally, but going back to them now, I was like, oh, this is actually pretty fun. I wish I kind of took advantage of it. They're really silly, they're really stupid. You're gonna feel like an idiot when you play them, but there's just that stupid Nintendo charm where it's just they're just so delightful. There's let me just see a couple of them. you're dressed up as a chicken and you have to flap your arms to land on these targets precisely. Like you use the balance board for that. And there's like a kung fu one where you kind of like mimic what the kung fu guy does, and it's like this rhythm mini game. So you just, when it hits, when it's like your time to go on the beat, you have to do like a certain type of movement with your arms with the Wii remote and nunchuck. So I thought that was really clever. But I thought the mini games were pretty clever, and they kept you active while still being fun. And if you're having a party, could be a fun drinking video game to bring out. But well, thank you guys very much for joining me for this episode. I really appreciate it. Where can people find you guys online?
I am at Metroid Hunter on Twitter and at Metroid Hunter 101 everywhere else.
NosJacob73 on Twitter. You can find me there.
Great. And you guys can't really find me online, but you will find me on the Nintendo Nostalgia Facebook page. Sometimes I make posts, and you can find me there. Ryan or Jacob, is there anything else that you guys would like to add before we sign off?
I'm excited to see what the future of fitness with Nintendo is.
Yep, likewise. How about you, Jacob?
I mean, as long as it's just managed, because at the end of the day, I love when Nintendo makes full-on video games that we love, and the issue I had with the Wii days, and especially the Wii U days, was things became way too gimmicky, and I got sick of the shovelware. You started seeing other companies make crappier versions of fitness stuff, and it's like, I don't want that. I want it to be done right and to be done well, but I want balance and I want variety, so that's what I say. Just be careful with it, Nintendo. Be careful with it, because I don't want just fitness stuff.
Yep. Well, my closing remarks are: give any type of exercise or extra gaming software a try. I never expected to like fitness because of them, but they really did change my life, and I studied becoming a personal trainer afterward, and now I'm getting into public health. So give these pieces of software a try. They're a good way to get started with fitness, and hopefully allow you to advance and try more challenging exercises and types of health activities. So thank you guys very much for joining us, and we will talk to you next time. Later, Preston.
Bye.
Bye.